Hi, everyone. Welcome to Gratitude Tuesdays. I'm Rainer, one of your recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center. Um, and tonight we're going to be talking about how to practice gratitude during the holidays. So we went over some things before Thanksgiving and after Thanksgiving about how to show gratitude or practice gratitude. And now we're kind of like the in-between point. And I know this is a rough time of year for a lot of people. Not being connected with family or not having anywhere to go for the holidays, and it can be a struggle. So I wanted to touch on this for the next couple of weeks to try and help get through a little bit better. This comes from Tabitha.org website, and it says, "How can I practice gratitude during the holidays?" As we find ourselves approaching the holidays, your tension or stress may be building up. You may start feeling overwhelmed at the thought of having family over, cooking an abundance of delicious dishes, or perhaps you just feel uncertain about what the holidays will bring. Therefore, it might be a good idea to adjust your mindset by practicing gratitude during the holiday season. So we're going to talk about what is gratitude and what will it do for me. Gratitude is being present in the current moment and recognizing the good things in your life. That sums it up pretty well. We've talked about this numerous times about what gratitude looks like and the benefits of it. And I think that right there just ties everything that we've discussed into one sentence. It can be as simple or as complicated as you make it, like saying thank you to those you appreciate, writing in a gratitude journal on a daily basis, or just taking a moment to recognize the little things in life, like a good book or a warm, sunny day. Gratitude also improves your mental and physical health by increasing your optimism, strengthening your relationships, and easing anxiety. Your sense of well-being will feel more fulfilled. And that's something that I'm sure, regardless of your situation, we can all use. Because regardless if you have family, you don't have family, the holidays, you look forward to them or you don't look forward to them. I think we can all use something to help ease our anxiety, because we can either be overwhelmed or underwhelmed by the holiday. So then it goes on to talk about whom do I show gratitude to and how. So absolutely anyone can be on the receiving end of your gratitude. Whether you thank the busy clerk at the register when you're buying holiday gifts, share a hug with a friend who always has your best interests in mind, or spend time with family member who you're happy to see each year when the holidays roll around, expressing your admiration can make someone feel special. And I think this is really important, that first part right there where it talks about thanking the busy clerk at the register. Like shopping this time of year is chaotic. There's people everywhere. Everybody's in a hurry. And a lot of times I think that we kind of put our, gratitude on the back burner because we're in like this focus mode, and, we're not as kind to people as we could be or should be. We take a lot of things for granted when it comes to shopping. I know it's like every year I buy a couple of bags of these certain Hershey Kisses that my kids like, and we'll go to 5 different places until I can find them, and it starts to get frustrating. So, and it's something so simple that, to let it throw me off my mood it's just silly. I did find them today though. But like we seem to be focused on little things like that when in the big picture is, what I mean? My kids are going to be okay if they don't have these Hershey Kisses. So please be kind to the clerks in any store or the other people who are, running around just as frantically as you are, because it's a lot for anyone. If you find yourself butting heads with a family member at a holiday gathering, you can be gracious to them too by thanking them for giving you a different perspective. That's another thing, when you do have a big family, there's a lot of personalities all coming together. And if you're anything like my family, when I was growing up, you have a lot of different opinions on how things should be and what is acceptable, what's not acceptable. And I can't tell you how many dinners I would listen to my dad and my uncle butt heads because of, conflicting opinions on certain things. Kind of losing track of why we're all there in the first place. You can have those conversations anytime. It's the holidays. It's time to kind of, set aside those things and, come together for the right reason. And if you're feeling the urge to tell them off, refrain from doing so. Your restraint is a form of gratitude. I like that because that kind of sums that up as well. We don't always have to say everything we're thinking. You don't have to agree with the way somebody does something over holiday, like Christmas dinner, or what they're buying their kid, or who they're spending their money on, or any of those things. Like, sometimes the nicest thing you can do is to just keep your mouth shut. So the next part says, can I give my gratitude to someone who has passed away? I really like this section because I think that this is something for those of us who have lost family or friends, like around the holidays, can be especially difficult. We find ourselves missing them and their absence in the holiday celebration. And instead of enjoying what we do have and having like that gratitude for the people that are there, we kind of like lose focus and go on, the people that aren't there. And when you think about it, like I lost, both of my grandmothers within a year, and both of them were who held together the glue at the holidays. One always did Christmas Eve, the other one always did Christmas Day. And when they passed, it's kind of like, my extended family fizzled away and we all ended up doing our own things. And I could spend every Christmas missing that, or I can spend every Christmas making the best of it for the family that I do have. So this says that absolutely, you can have gratitude for someone who has passed. The holidays may be a particularly difficult time for those who have lost a loved one, especially if the loss was recent. Trying out gratitude as a group will foster a loving environment to honor and remember the person or people who have since passed, as well as give you the opportunity to think of all the great memories you had with them. Try something as simple as cooking one of their signature recipes or recalling one of their silly holiday traditions. And I know for my one grandmother, we do this all the time. We'll say, oh, you remember when Mama made this, or when she said this, or you know what I mean? And we look back, with fondness instead of like looking back with like pain or regret or any of those other negative emotions, when we're able to, to laugh and, remember the happy times. Sharing stories and talking about what you miss about them is practicing gratitude in itself. Being grateful for the past in times both good and bad can help bring your family closer. And that's very, very true. So the last little part of this, it says, is it wrong to be grateful for myself? Absolutely not. You made it through another year, which may have brought you success, hardship, or anything in between. Showing yourself gratitude is essential. Celebrate the strength you possess as the challenges you've overcome are nothing to undermine. Think about the acts of kindness you've done for others. If you struggle to think of any, it never hurts to do something kind. After all, doing something good for someone makes you feel good too. Take time to slow down and reflect on your year as the remainder of the year whirls past. And I like this because sometimes we spend so much time worrying about everyone else and making sure that, we're doing for others that we forget about ourselves. And it's very important to make sure that you take the time to, have that gratitude for the things that you've done. I know personally, this year I'm able to have all of my kids in one room for the first time in a few years, and celebrate with my extended family and have everybody in my home. And that's something that I am grateful for and that I work very hard to be able to do. And that things like that shouldn't be neglected or, glossed over, because being grateful for yourself and the accomplishments that you've made, no matter how small they may have been, it gives you that encouragement to keep going. You start looking back with regret and thinking, oh, you know what, I could have done this, or if I'd done this, maybe we could have done this, or if I had more money, I could have bought more gifts, or if I had more time, I could have made more food, or like any of those things. It's just going to like kind of bring you down, and that's not the vibe you want to put out there for Christmas. You want to make sure that you are putting out this vibe of gratitude, and because it's contagious, you know what I mean? And like, my kids are older, they don't get like 20 gifts a piece under the tree anymore. And there's some years I look and I feel like, wow, I didn't do anything for them. But in reality, I did. You know what I mean? They let me know what they need or what they want. I do the best that I can to be able to provide that for them, whether it's one package or 12 packages. And you'll find that, the person on the receiving end isn't upset. Like, I think we put this expectation on ourselves to be able to provide things out of our means. And we think that people are going to be upset. Well, I didn't get her this, or I couldn't get him this, or that. Like, they're going to be grateful for like they got what they have. Especially if that's something that you're instilling in your children as well. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we come back into early recovery and they're just happy to have us. And like, I can tell you, like, my first Christmas, my mom bought me this bracelet, and on the inside of it is carved "Keep Going." And that could have been the only thing she gave me, and that would have been enough. You know what I mean? And the fact that I was clean and present and involved in the holiday, which is like her favorite holiday, was the best gift that I could possibly give her. So it's not about, how much you spend or how much you can give. It's, sometimes it's just about giving your time. So at the end of this, it says, even if you can't spend the holidays with your friends and family this year, you should express your gratitude remotely and let your loved ones know how much you mean to them. As the year comes to a close, consider implementing gratitude as a year-long task. Conveying your thanks and appreciation to those around you may help you build relationships that last a lifetime. And your overall wellness will benefit from allowing yourself that kindness as well. And that's kind of nice, you know what I mean? If there are people, like my one daughter lives in Florida, and we didn't get to spend Christmas together last year, and we're not going to be able to spend it together again this year. But you know what I mean? Like, I make sure that she's involved, with things like FaceTime. She can like sit with us and watch, each other open our presents, via our phones. The things that we have today just go so far in being able to be involved with the people that normally we may not be able to be involved with. Would I love to have her there with us? Of course I would. But she can't. And having that ability to just be able to do it remotely, having things like Amazon that will deliver straight to her, all these things that sometimes we take for granted are wonderful things to be grateful for during the holiday. Because otherwise I have to order stuff and box it and ship it and all this stuff. And it's like, you know what? I can just send her, click on her little Christmas list and send it out to her. Where maybe, before you just get a phone call, hey, Merry Christmas, hope everything's great, yada, yada, yada. Where this year she can be involved. She can watch her niece open presents. She can do all these different things with us and still be part of that family holiday. So try, like, I know it's difficult for a lot of us, especially in early recovery, and especially if we've lost someone recently, like it was talking about. It's very easy to, get sucked into that depression. Not only that, but it's cold, it's dark, which, if you're like me, cold and dark are not very conducive to a positive attitude. We have to like try a little harder to find those positive things to be grateful for. And, you know what I mean? If you can't figure out for yourself, maybe, call someone. what are you doing? Was your experience with this? I know you lost your mother recently. How did you handle that? Like any of those things to help you get through that somebody else has experience with, ask them. And most of the time people are very like willing to share how they got through certain holidays without family or certain holidays without the money to be able to, give this commercialized holiday to their families. You're not alone. You know what I mean? And you can always come here. You can talk to us about it. There's programs out there that are available to help with your family if you're struggling for the holidays. There's things that we can link you to. So don't hesitate to, stop in or call us for anything, even if it's just a little moral support. So, and please don't forget to be grateful for all of your growth during the holidays, especially. And so I just want to thank you guys for joining us. And like I said, please stop in, come and see us, get involved in the groups that we're having here, and do yourself a favor and add to your recovery. The more you have, the better off you're going to be. Have a good night.